everybody. Welcome to This Day. It is Thursday, June 3rd. Now, we have a couple meetings to tell you about today. We've got the first one, which is the United Budget Meeting, and that's the landscape review. And that'll start at 10 a.m. and go till 12:30 this afternoon. And then we have the third budget meeting, landscape review also, and that'll be at 1:30 this afternoon and go till 4 p.m. Now, of course, you could follow along with these meetings at lagunawoodsvillage.com/meetings. On our show today, we have the Orange County Fire Authority, and we're going to talk all about fire danger, as well as to-go bags and being prepared, and just a couple of other great things about barbecue safety and kitchen safety. So, you know, 'tis the time that's now coming up here. It's going to be hot, and so we're going to be looking at fire dangers. All right, let's go ahead and give you the important appointment numbers that we normally give you for our resident services and manor alterations. With resident services at 949-597-4600 and manor alterations 949-597-4616. You can only visit with resident services if you have an appointment. Otherwise, they can handle maybe a phone call or even a Zoom interview Zoom if needed. Okay, let's take a look at our weather. We are burning off our fog this morning, and look at that. We've got some tractor activity out there. They're just moving some dirt around. And that's great, though. Looks good. All right, patchy clouds today, 76-62. Tomorrow, AM fog, but sunny, 78-60. And then we're going slightly cooler, 76-58. Partly sunny, 73-61. And then mostly cloudy on Monday, 71-62. Our sunrise this morning was at 5:41. And our sunset will be at 7:57. Didn't have a photo to share. Everybody stopped sending me photos. So if you have something you'd like to share, please send it in to Laguna Woods Village TV at Gmail. When we come back, we will have the Orange County Fire Authority, so stick around.
City of Hope is speeding cancer research and treatment to Orange County.
Go get a second opinion, third opinion. Go see somebody who has the expertise, because nowadays there is just so much research in every type of cancer that it's hard for one doctor to keep up to date with all the novel therapeutics and etc. So I think it's extremely, extremely important.
Condominiums at the Towers in Laguna Woods Village offer 7 spacious floor plans, unforgettable views, convenient bus transportation, and a new experience in independent, carefree senior living. Our beautiful hotel-style environment offers nightly 4-course dinner service, bi-weekly housekeeping, and a wide variety of activities. Also, for your convenience, our 24-hour concierge, 24-hour maintenance services, and on-site management. Experience elevated living at its finest.
Did you know there are over 400,000 seniors in Orange County today? So where does a senior or family caregiver go for information and resources? You can turn to the Answers Guide, published by the Council on Aging, Southern California. Answers is full of articles and resources to help you navigate the aging experience. You can pick up your free copy today at the clubhouse nearest you or at the Social Services Office. The Council on Aging, helping seniors remain healthy, connected, and protected.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Tang Nguyen, who is here on behalf of the Orange County Fire Authority. Well, Tang, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And I'm really glad that we were finally able to get you guys to come back on, because, you know, there wasn't hardly any rain or any snow for that matter. So I think we have a big concern coming up here with wildfires. So I'm really glad we could take the time now before it starts to get really warm. Just in general, let's take an overview of what we were dealing with last, this whole year, that there really wasn't a whole lot of rain.
Yeah, that's correct. 2020 was something, wasn't it? I mean, with everything that went on top of it, we had almost zero rain this winter. And up in the mountains, our snowpack is pretty lean. So that's pretty concerning to us.
Yeah, absolutely. And then,
you had mentioned that you have some associates that are in the area up in Northern California, and that we're looking at no snowpack, and even some of the lakes are low, which is surprising because I had not heard that.
Yeah, so I can't speak for, all of the lakes and mountains throughout California, but he's in the Eastern Sierras right now on vacation, and he shared pictures, and the lake was pretty dry, and the surrounding mountaintops, the snowpack was lean and sparse.
Well, right, and even our local mountains, Big Bear and some of that, I mean, that really doesn't benefit us for the most part. However, wouldn't it help with some of the creeks that we have in some of the back areas, like where Silverado Canyon is?
As far as the water supply goes, it's really dependent on, well, obviously the annual rainfall and the snowpack, and that's something that our water departments handle primarily. Where we come in is that we're looking at the fuel load and the concern of how dry they become, and then is there adequate spacing between homes and the fuel that's out there that's really susceptible to burning.
Right, now let's talk about the plants and the vegetation itself. I mean, there's a way to look at it to see just how dry it is and what should be concerning.
Yeah, so as far as the fuel goes, without getting super technical here, we measure it in the size and the load of the fuel. So your grass is, what we consider as our 1 hour fuel, and that's the amount of time that it actually takes to dry it out or to moisten, and to humidify it. So, we have a lot of that, and if we do get a fire that starts in that grass, that gets it going pretty fast, and then it butts up against your thick brush and your trees, and then off to a race as we go.
Wow. So what are some of the major concerns? Are you more concerned about people maybe driving at some of maybe the toll road areas and some of that drier stuff, maybe pulling over and having an issue with their car, or throwing stuff out the window like a cigarette butt?
Excellent questions. If you just because you may live in an area that's away from the brush, you could be traveling in those areas, and so your question is spot on. Where you got to be careful what you're doing, because if you are smoking and you throw out a cigarette butt, that's all it takes. The first major wildfire I went to in 2017 for that season was the result of a truck pulling a trailer, and the chain was hanging, and it was just banging against the street and causing sparks, and that's what caused a 10,000 acre fire. And it's just right adjacent to the dry grass. So it's those things, whether it's intentional or not intentional, it's there. So we got to be super cautious about that.
Well, exactly. And then you did mention about keeping the distance between the wild land and a backyard. I know for our Laguna Woods residents, most of them don't have to worry about things like that, but there is some open area.
Yes. And I've driven through the area, and we traditionally, you look at Laguna Woods, we're not thinking of the wildland urban interface that most people think of. However, we do have vegetation around the area, so it's everybody needs to take an active part in making sure that they're protected. I've always said it is that it's a team effort to keep everybody safe. It's not just us. If you're just relying on us, then you didn't take the steps to mitigate some of the problems that could have been mitigated.
Right. Now, there was that really large fire that was out off of the 241 there, and it was very concerning to people here, primarily because of the air quality. I mean, the air quality here was just horrible because all the smoke just came towards the community. So when we have things like that, obviously the fire is far away. We didn't have to be too concerned about the actual flames. But when it came to the smoke, I mean, boy, it was pretty concerning.
Yes, indeed. And a lot of the times we have Santa Ana winds that are blowing. And so everybody downwind from the fire is going to get that smoke. And it affects everybody. It's an Orange County thing. It's not just a canyon thing. It's not just a Laguna Woods thing. it's everybody. So one of those things that we encourage people on those smoky days when an active fire is occurring in the county is to limit your outdoor activity. And if you have the ability to, close your doors, close your windows, and limit your outside activity and prevent that smoke from getting in. The reality is, those things take days to put out, to extinguish out. And if that wind is carrying it, you're going to be exposed to it.
Now that we've got a boatload of masks available to us in our home, is that something that we could consider using if we were outside, or you had to go outside when the air quality was bad? Does it help?
It's not 100% coverage. It's not 100% filtration. And it really depends on what kind of mask you're using. If you're using the N95 mask, which has a 95% filtration, effectiveness, then you're better protected. However, most of the masks that we're all wearing, with the cloth and stuff like that, it limits it. However, it's still better than just walking out freely and not having any sort of protection.
Okay. So that is something that if you had to go out, you could potentially use that. So that's good. That's good. And then, what are some things like individually that we can do to prevent forest fires from happening? I know we have a barbecue restrictions here in the community, and because I guess that just does cause fires.
Yes. So basically anything you do with heat, you run the potential. And, we've been around doing this long enough where you can't make some of this stuff up, the scenarios that cause a fire. And so we just ask that if you are using anything that's heat related, open flame, that you got to make sure that you're on top of it. One of the common things that we see when we investigate a fire after extinguishing it is that we determine that the fire was left unattended. That's a lot of the accidental stuff. And so we want to make sure that people, if you are going to barbecue, especially now that we're going into the summer months and there's holidays and people are getting together, is that you have to keep an eye on your barbecues, and in fact, you're cooking inside also.
Right. Now, when in your kitchen, when you have a fire, do you always have to have a fire extinguisher, or what is another way to put that out?
Well, it sure doesn't hurt to have a fire extinguisher. However, if you do have a fire, you got to remember is that fire needs oxygen, to keep burning. And so one thing that you can do right away is that if you have a stovetop fire, on a pan or something like that, real quick fix, put the lid right over it. You're going to smother it.
Okay.
And yeah, that's an excellent way. I was actually at a Super Bowl party years ago, and unfortunately the 49ers lost that year, but that's beside the point. They were baking something, and fortunately people were in the kitchen, noticed that it caught fire. And, if you're not used to seeing fire, you could get excited pretty easily.
Yeah.
And, I came in, I looked at it, I go, well, you know what, turn it off and let's just keep the door closed to the oven. And then it went out. So that's one of the best things that you can do if you don't have a fire extinguisher. And in fact, I would encourage that. And then if you had to, then use the fire extinguisher.
Right. Oh, that's good. I'm sure people are like, oh my God, we have to put out the fire.
Yeah. But the one thing you don't want to do is throw water on your pan that's on the stovetop, because what you do when you have all that grease and oil that's cooking is that you actually splash it all over your walls, and yeah, you're going to create a bigger fire.
A bigger fire. Okay. Now, some people here are aware of our disaster preparedness to-go bags. Give me an idea of why we would need one.
Well, so we're talking wildfire, and it's fresh in our memories because we had some significant fires in last year, and so it's fresh, and we're encouraging people to build on that. So don't let it get out of your mind where we don't think about it any longer. In Laguna Woods, we're not in the wildland urban interface, like we typically think of. However, the potential is there. All it takes is the wind to change directions and come right back, and you're caught off guard if you haven't thought about it. The go bag is also effective for our other emergencies that can occur. We haven't had a major earthquake in a while, and that's something that everybody should consider. So I say the go bag is not just for fire exclusively; it's for any sort of disaster where, at a moment's notice, we're encouraging, or we're ordering people out of their homes.
Mhm. Well, it's funny that you mentioned the earthquake thing. I was just thinking about that this morning. I kid you not, because I moved recently and I was thinking, we haven't had an earthquake in a while. Where am I going to go? And so I was thinking of my plan because I've been in so many of them, living in California for so long, and the 1971 earthquake up in Northridge. So I certainly think about them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or having a
and
plan is always key.
Yeah, and since you bring that up there, having a go bag is one element, being prepared. The other one is actually having an evacuation plan. And obviously panicking is not a very good plan. But we have, which a lot of people use, including the Red Cross, is that the 6 Ps of evacuation. This can be found, I think we've sent it to you, but this can also be found on our website at ocfa.org under safety. And 6 Ps, make sure that you get your people and your pets ready, right? So everybody's on the same page. And so you're not running around in circles when the order comes in to evacuate. Next up is make sure that you have your important papers and documents ready to go. Either have it saved up in an electronic file or something like that where you can easily get to it. And then have your phone, charged and ready. And that's one of those things where we encourage people to always have gas in your car, right? You don't want to, if you're the kind of person that runs on fumes before you decide to get gas, that's an issue when it comes time for evacuation. And then, having your prescriptions, you may not have extra prescriptions, but at least during the evacuation moment, you have a checklist of, boom, 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 you go down the list. I'm going to grab my prescriptions. I'm going to grab my glasses also. Right. And so, have all those things. And then if you have anything, important or meaningful to you that you would be devastated if you lost, make sure that you have a way to get that. So pictures being, one of them. I was on a fire years ago on duty, and it was frustrating because it was actually burning through the city I live in. Right. And it was the freeway complex fire. And I was on the Anaheim hillside while my wife and small children at the time were home alone, packing the car with pictures and photos. And, it's not fun. And believe me, when we ask people to evacuate their homes, we don't take it lightly. We don't just arbitrarily do that. We have very critical decision-making points that we tell people, okay, you are under evacuation warning right now versus you are now under evacuation order. And when it comes to these major emergencies, you will see our staff from the OCFA working hand in hand with the Sheriff's Department or the local police agency to make sure that we give people plenty of time. The frustrating part is when people don't want to leave. Right? That's the part that really gets to us. And then continuing here, having your personal electronics, right? If you don't have one of those spare little battery packs that are, get one. They're not expensive. And that's an extra charge for your phone during an emergency. And we rely so much on cell phones now, whether we like it or not. And but you got to have a contingency plan for backup just in case the cell service goes down. All right. And what if you were at home evacuating and your significant other or family members were away from your home? Do you have a place to meet just in case you can't get on the phone with them? And then they always encourage to have someone out of state to have contact with also, which is, so if for some reason all of the cell phone lines are down here, eventually I can contact somebody out of state. My kids can do the same thing. My wife can do the same thing, whatever it is, so you can reunite somehow. So evacuation plus the reunification piece of it. And then last, but definitely not least, have your wallet nearby, plastic, but just in case all the power is down, you're not going to be able to use ATM. So, have cash also.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a good plan. Definitely good ideas. And then one last thing before we close out is fireworks. We're coming up, here on the holiday and, summertime just in general. What would you say about that?
Well, Laguna Woods, as far as I know, no fireworks are allowed in that city. And, so you may be visiting somewhere else that allows fireworks, but just keep in mind that just because you are using safe and sane and legal fireworks doesn't mean that they're not dangerous, right? And so they should be utilized by responsible adults, right? Capable, responsible adults. And I don't just say adults alone, because the key is you have to be responsible. And so that's one of those things there. And then also, once again, on our website, we have a whole checklist of things that you can be cautious of. I've seen it. I've been doing this for a while, and it's tragic. It really bums many of us out when we go on a fire and we look after the fact and just think this could have been avoided.
Right. Yeah. What if? Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much for the information. I appreciate it. And we'll catch up with you guys again soon.
It was great. Thank you very much.
Okay. And we'll be right back after this.
We could be in for significant wildfires again this year. I'm Fire Chief Brian Fennessy. The Wildfire Research Center in San Jose says they've never seen conditions so dire. The extensive drought has caused live fuel moistures to be terrifyingly low. Researchers are concerned that our fire season could be as equally devastating as last year's, when California experienced its largest wildfire season, with 10,000 wildfires ravaging over 4.2 million acres. In Orange County, 3 major wildfires burned over 30,000 acres and caused more than 90,000 people to be evacuated from their homes. Before a wildfire starts, it's critical that our homes and communities are prepared. Create a home escape plan and practice it with your family. Be prepared for an evacuation by creating a go bag. Give your home a better chance of survival now by preparing your property and hardening your home. 100 feet of defensible space is essential. Appropriate roofing material and boxed-in eaves are important. And remove dead leaves and plants from your lawn and rain gutters. Learn how to protect your home from wildfires on our website, ocfa.org/RSG. Don't wait, act now.
At the Memorial Care Breast Center, Saddleback, you will always find a friendly face to guide you through your annual mammogram visit. Our staff, dedicated subspecialist breast radiologists, knowledge, and innovative technology await your visit to our center. With the Laguna Woods shuttle service right at our sidewalk, this convenient location offers you quick access for your appointment. You can expect nothing but the best for all your breast health needs at Memorial Care Breast Center, Saddleback.
With 2020 behind us, now is the perfect time to take care of all the things that you might not have been able to. Caliber Collision is just up the street from you, and we offer a lifetime warranty on all body and repair work for as long as you own your vehicle. And we offer free pickup and delivery for all our Laguna Woods customers. On or off the road, safety is very important to us, which is why we are following all COVID-19 guidelines. Caliber Collision, restoring the rhythm of your life.
Few announcements for you. We're going to start off with this weekend. I know you're all looking forward to the Village Bazaar is going to be this Saturday, and it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It will be in the Clubhouse 5 parking lot. They have over 60 registered sellers that's going to have handcrafted items, home goods, jewelry, clothing, and so many more things. So if you would like more information, you can call Recreation at 597-4382, or you could email them at recreation@vmsinc.org. Now, the Hearing Well Club has combined with an organization called Hearing Loss Association of America. Now, Tony Barriant has been great in keeping us informed about all the activities that are going on, and there will be a monthly meeting on June 8th, and that will be at 11 a.m. So if you would like additional information about how to participate with that meeting, you can contact Tony. Her phone number is 949-614-5307, or you could email her at tony@hlaamv.org, or you could go to their website, which is hlaamv.org, and get all the information about the new organization. We've got the third election information here. Now, there will be another town hall on June 7th, And then the ballots are due June 28th, and the ballot tabulation will be June 29th, and we'll have the results for you shortly thereafter. Now, we all want to be able to conserve water because we've got a drought. We hardly got any rain, and the snowpack was very minimal. So, couple of heads up on things you can do to help conserve water. You can use the low flow shower heads, and you can limit your showers to 5 minutes or less, which, yeah, that's kind of impossible, but if you can, good for you. Turn your water off while lathering in the shower. Turn off the water while brushing your teeth or shaving. Run only fully loads of laundry and dishes. So just stack it up and pile them up and get that in there all at once. And rinse your fruit and vegetables in a sink or a pan filled with water rather than just running the water over your fruit. Now, we do have another food distribution that is coming up on June 16th, and that is put on by Lisa Bartlett in conjunction with the Saddleback Church. And they're going to be doing that at the outlets at San Clemente, and that's located off of Avenida Vista Hermosa. And that'll be Wednesday, June 16th, and that's 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And of course, you could always get more information about that by visiting saddleback.com/get-food. All right, let's take a look at our weather one last time before we head out. It's looking pretty darn good. This week is pretty much the same every day. We're going to have mostly foggy mornings, and that's going to burn off to sunshine in the afternoon. Today we will have some patchy clouds, 76, 62. Tomorrow again, AM fog, sunshine in the afternoon, 78, 60. So that'll be the warmest for the week. Then Saturday a little bit cooler, 76, 58. Sunday partly sunny, 73, 61. And then Monday mostly cloudy, 71, 62. So have a great day in the village today. Tomorrow's Friday already. We lost a day, so Friday it is. And you can always join us here at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, or you could rewatch our program at 12:30 and 5. But stay tuned here where you're going to have the Thrive Show. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm John Bowser Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha-Na-Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village Television. Grease for peace.
City of Hope is speeding cancer research and treatment to Orange County.
There are many subtypes of breast cancer within the category of breast cancer, and we are seeing new breakthroughs in the way that we apply targeted therapies. And seeing a medical oncologist with a disease-specific specialty ensures that that oncologist has the knowledge base to appropriately apply these new therapies and decide what's the best clinical trial for a patient to be enrolled in.
During the pandemic, thousands turned to AgeWell for help. Since March of last year, AgeWell has provided Orange County seniors with more than 40,000 grab-and-go lunches, 500,000 home-delivered meals, as well as transportation and case management services. We were there for you then, and we're here for you now. Stay strong. Stay well. Age well. Learn more about our services or how to get involved today at myagewell.org.